How much house can I afford? That's a very common question when someone wishes to buy a house. Back in the old days, we hand-wrote our loan applications, had no credit scores, and no automated underwriting. It was a big world, the Stone Age, when I first started. Nowadays, with all this technical help, here's what we need to look at. You're going to look at, first of all, your credit report. We're going to look at that for the score, because a low score under 640 or less, probably at this time after COVID-19 will not allow you to get a house with most lenders. The higher the credit score, the better your interest rate. Therefore, the more house you can afford. When we look at your credit report and see how many debts you have, we look at your debt to income ratio, and that will help also determine how much house you can afford. We look at your job history. Do you jump from one job, one career field to another every few months or so? Or do you have stable, predictable, and continuous job performance? Do you work a 40-hour week job, or do you work less? Do you have unset hours, or can you be guaranteed a set number of hours? Do you have a lot of overtime? Do you have seasonal work? Are you self-employed? All of these go into the job history and the work to see if we know that you are going to be able to make a house payment through stable, repeatable, and predictable income. We also look at the down payment amount. Is it 0 down, 3%, 5%, or 20% or more? We have programs for these different loan programs, but again, all of that will factor again how much house you can afford. We look at your debts. If you have debts like student loans that don't have any payment assigned to it because it's deferred, we will have to add a payment to that. Or credit cards that have been paid in advance and there's no payment due, we still have to assess a payment for that. If you're going out and bought a Beamer and you now say, hey, I want to buy a house after buying that nice BMW car, and I'm going to have to say your debt to income ratio is too high, enjoy sleeping in your house called your Beamer, BMW, okay? So we need to make sure that our debt to income ratio is under control. Make sure that you are balanced with house payments, installment loans, credit cards. You say, great, but you still haven't told me how much house I can afford. This again, all of these factors go into saying, can I afford up to 50% of my gross monthly income for a house payment? That's typically what we can do on most loan programs, sometimes less, sometimes more, depending on if you have some cash reserves like 401ks, IRAs. All of those, even though you won't use them for a down payment, shows your ability to make a payment in the event of losing your job or becoming disabled. But some might say, but Greg, I have plenty of money. But if you don't have the credit score, it doesn't matter how much money you have. We need to know if you have the history of being able to pay debts on time. So that credit score is very important. Secondly, some people say, but I have absolutely no credit at all. Is your credit report blank if I pulled it right now? No collections, no liens, tax liens, any kinds of other judgments. If it's totally clean, call me. We probably can help you if you have some alternate forms of credit. Some say, but I have a co-borrower, mom, dad, grandma, grandpa. Even if you have a co-borrower, if you don't have the right credit scores to stand on your own, because everyone stands on their own credit. So again, all of these factors are important. When you need to see a loan officer, you want to see someone experienced like myself that's been doing this many years and will put their vast experience together to help you determine what loan program, how much you can afford, and if you can't afford something now, to help you at a later time be able to afford a house. I'm Greg Bridgman with People's National Bank. From O'Fallon, Missouri to O'Fallon, Illinois and beyond, I would love to be your loan officer, even up to all 50 states. I look forward to hearing from you soon.